Watching the fire burning just reminds me of the resemblance of our hearts, the resemblance of our capability, of our strength, a representation of who we really are to the soul level, to the conscious level. Just looking and observing the fire itself just teaches us and teaches me all the time. Like it always takes two. It always takes two to ignite. It always takes a friction from two stones, from a match, from a stick. It always takes the ignition to make a fire. Just like consciousness itself. Consciousness itself cannot redefine or understand itself without experiencing the dualistic and the polarity of consciousness itself. And by saying that is to understand and understand that both has to coexist. Transcending polarity. And that polarity is necessary to get to the point of oneness, of the zero, of the point, of the real understanding of who we really are as consciousness. Male, female, the masculine, the feminine energy both exist in us. We are already whole by ourselves. We are already enough. We already have everything. There's no need to exaggerate, to be spiritual, and to go through and to search and to venture and to go through all the false pretenses and all the constructs of our minds and all of these constructs of the matrix and the false grid. Once we understand and understand that both has to correlate and to coexist, the eons and the archons, the light and the darkness, the bad and the good is both part of one. Is the self, is itself, it is itself expressing in different frequencies and different aspects in this same existence. Say it within our existence in the 3D dimensional world and within the existence of the cosmos. For us to remember. And when I say remember, not only to recall something that we know, but something that from the word remember, to be a member again, because we were never out of it. We were always a member again. We were always a member of the source itself and the monad. And that's why we call it remember, is because to remember itself, to reclaim, to transcend the forgetfulness of this dimension, and within the reincarnations that we've been through, to transcend the reincarnations programs and all the false and all the false programs that they have manipulated for us to recycle our lives, to feed the false deities, the false entities that are controlling the whole sheen, that are controlling the whole false grid. And it's time for them to know that without them, we would also never get the chance to experience the real essence of our consciousness and awareness, without the other side, without polarity. Polarity is the most essential part. Not to divide ourselves, but to re-acknowledge, to remember that both are the same part of one member, and it's just to remember both. The remembrance of the necessity, and the remembrance of being whole and being enough beyond all religions and beyond all beliefs and creeds. The real spirituality comes from within. It's not even about spirituality anymore. It's not about being special or any kind of form. We are all special because we are the form of the consciousness itself, just expressed in different ways. That's how we divide ourselves, because we see it in a different way in our own perspective. But once we understand that we are all part of the same consciousness, and it's the time we re-acknowledge who we really are, and we stop hurting people. Frequency wise, you start putting boundaries. You start recalling your power. You start remembering yourself. Not only yourself as an identity, but yourself as a consciousness beyond the ego, beyond the body, beyond the identity, beyond the polaristic, the densities of these dimensions. And it's time that the archons, the dark entities, shall do their part and understand that we are all part of it. And likewise to the light, that both has to coexist. Not in a position, but in a coexistence of harmony and the remembrance of the source itself. Because if we keep on continuing these programs and this narrative in how we perceive this existence and how we perceive the entities that are taking control and that are pulling the strings and influencing us, we just need to do our part. And by saying that is to re-acknowledge that you are enough, that you are not guilty from your past lives, that all this reprogramming of karma and reincarnations, all this programming are not who we really are and the real essence of our consciousness, but these are all false programs that are driven by dark entities, which they themselves don't even want to remember or forgot that they are also the expression of the consciousness itself. And by saying that they wouldn't even manifest as dark entities, archons, or any kind of negative manifestation without the power of the source. They don't owe the source, but they need to remember. We all need to remember, because they are also having their own experience of polarity, and we are also having our own experience of polarity. And once we understand the idea and the notion and the fact that polarity is not there as opposing notion and forces and frequencies, but both have to coexist and is the same fabric of the consciousness itself. We are not the pigment experiencing the whole, but we are the whole experiencing the pigment.